I'm appreciative of all that stuff. You know, I didn't know back then, but it was definitely needed, and it definitely helped mold, me and my brothers and sisters into who we are today. I used to go to our library. We didn't have much growing up, and had a CD player, but I couldn't really afford to buy CDs. But someone told me that you could rent CDs from the library. So I would go and rent all kinds of different music. I mean, John Tesh, Stevie Wonder, the Beatles, whatever I could get my hands on. And that's how I learned about a lot of music, man. I would go and rent jazz albums. Man, it was just interesting, being able to do that. I didn't even know you could do that. So I used to go to the Spartanburg County Library, and I would go and I would just rent out CDs every week. And the librarian knew me, and they would call me "Hey, Marcus, just come and just scan it, and you can scan it, check it right back out. But you can't keep it for months in." I would keep these CDs like I owned them. Yeah, I mean, but that was so much fun just doing that, going to the library, renting out CDs. They weren't my CDs, but they were mine. Yeah. When I got to school, I picked up the horn, I played, and it was automatic. The teacher asked, "What do we want to play?" And I said, "Hey, Mr. E, I want to play saxophone." And I picked it up, and I remember the first feeling of feeling the reed and the texture of it. I didn't like it, but I got used to it, and it grew on me. And everything about the sax just kind of felt natural. I was able to figure out certain notes. I learned my first song. Yeah, within the first month or two. And my band director was blown away by it. He said, "Marcus, this is incredible. Who taught you this?" And I said, "Well, I taught myself." And he was like, "How? We only learned 5 notes." I'm like, "I know, but I just figured out the rest of them." And it was the song "I Wish" by Stevie Wonder, but it was the Nige version from the album he had put out, Songs from the Key of Life. He did a tribute to Stevie Wonder. And man, it was just, that was the start of everything. This was in 6th grade. Middle school was cool. I enjoyed middle school, but high school was fun. It was all the middle schools in the area came to this high school, and we went to Dorman High School.
I was Marcus's sophomore English teacher at Dorman High School. Anytime he was in front of my classroom for project presentation or any other reason, he had this bigger than life personality. He captivated everybody's attention with his huge smile and kind words, and those are things that you just don't forget. In my classroom, I had a lot of project assignments, and I gave my students the freedom to determine how they were going to go about completing that project assignment. Marcus would always go the musical route.
But I played music all through high school. I actually got a scholarship to North Carolina Central University. I didn't really know theory. Everything was kind of self-taught and by ear. I barely knew how to read music. So, and they knew that, and they saw it when I did my audition, but Dr. Wiggins saw, I guess, put a lot of potential in me. And he helped mold me into the musician I am now. Who am I? I don't know. I guess I'm still trying to figure that out. To be honest, I think more than anything is who do I want to be? And so I always think about the future, and I think about what type of man I want to be in the future, and that's kind of what I look forward and look up to as far as who am I and what I want to be. Or if you're thinking heroes, who's your hero? I think about the future version of me as that's the guy I want to be. It's we want to be perfect, and we want to get everything right as much as possible, but I don't know. Who am I? I don't know. We'll find out one day.